one more quick thing before we get started. So just one thing, we do have some elderly people who may need a seat. If you do see one and you would like to give up your seat, that is great. There's also a couple seats up here as well. Another thing, we are going to, again, we're going to keep our comments to 2 to 3 minutes, please. And if we do not get to you, or if you want to give us your information after your comment, you can give it to any one of us be here. I'll get it. Thank you. And I do have lots of cards for you guys as well if you just like to take a card. But again, any one of us three you can give your information to, and we will make sure it gets in the right hands. Again, 2 to 3 minutes, please, and let's respect everyone. Thank you. For those of us who were not here when I did make that announcement, when it does come time to speak, please raise your hand and I will walk around with the mic for you.
Okay, we're allowed to take pictures? Yeah. Okay, is everyone ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kris. I'm your Attorney General, and it's great to be back in Benson, community that I love very much. Some of you know that I was born and raised in Prescott, which back 54 years ago felt a lot like Benson. I think we had 10,000 people then, so maybe a little bit bigger than Benson, but this feels like home to me. So thank you for allowing me to be with you. I am here to really hear from you about the ADI situation, and but I want to say a few things about the town halls that I do. Some of you know that I like to do town halls. Some of you have been to my town halls in the past. I especially like to do town halls in rural Arizona. I consider a big part of my mission as your Attorney General to protect rural Arizona, to stand up for rural Arizona. I'm from rural Arizona. As I like to say, I was born in Prescott and I'm going to die in Prescott. And I'll never leave that town. And I think that all too often politicians in Phoenix forget about rural Arizona. So, yes. I'm seeing a lot of and that will never be me. And I want to also tell you a little bit about why I'm here in terms of the issue. So, obviously I want to hear from you and hear your thoughts, both whatever those thoughts are. If you're against this project or for it, I want to hear all of it. By the way, we do have multiple staffers here from the Attorney General's office. We have Tom Chabin right here. And Kirsten Engel, you might know her from several runs for Congress, but she is also now heading up my environmental protection unit inside the There is nobody in Arizona who knows environmental law as well as Kirsten Engel, so I'm very blessed and fortunate to have her with us at the AG's office. And we have other folks who are going to be taking a lot of notes on what you say, and if you do speak, we would love it if you would, thank you. if you would give us your name and contact information if you're willing to be contacted afterwards, okay? That's really, really important. I also want to recognize, before I go on, the elected officials that we have here. I know we have several city council members, so I think we have Cindy Tapia, Councilwoman. We have council member Darren Hayes. Is Darren here? There he is. And I know we got Greg Volker, who's the city manager and our police chief. And we have Vice Mayor Levi Johnson. Levi? Maybe? Council member Mark, is it Rome? Or Rome? Romero, I'm sorry. It's supposed to cut off here. And then council member Patrick Boyle. That's it. Okay.
You got the form all right.
Representative Lucas Diaz is here. Thank you. Any other elected folks in the room? Okay, if someone comes in, let me know. So, in any case, why is the Attorney General here to talk about this issue? So, some of you have followed my use of nuisance law in other parts of the state. I am here because I want to understand the issue here in the community, but I also am here because it's my job to enforce the law. And that means all of the laws in the state of Arizona that apply to this situation and other situations. We do have a public nuisance law in Arizona. I have applied it in other situations in rural Arizona where we had corporations that were threatening to do harm to their surrounding neighborhoods and communities. There was a situation in Chino Valley, two situations actually in Chino Valley outside of my hometown, where we used nuisance law to stop what we believed would have been actions that we thought violated our state's nuisance law. One of those was a mining company that wanted to come in and literally blow up a mountaintop, overtop people's homes. It was directly in the community, and the mining company, and there were hundreds of surrounding existing homeowners, and they were going to blow up the mountain in the middle of the homes. I don't know if I can explain it to you graphically enough, but that is literally what was going to happen. So we filed a nuisance lawsuit, and that company went away. And then also in Chino Valley, we worked to dissuade, and I think successfully dissuade, a company called Kinder Morgan, which is a big gasoline, natural gas company that wanted to put a huge compressor station near a neighborhood called Haystack Ranches. Now, Haystack Ranches is exactly what it sounds like. It is a beautiful little community out beyond I think out beyond the city limits of Chino Valley, where Kinder Morgan and El Paso Natural Gas, basically the same company now, wanted to put this very big, very noisy compressor station, I think a third of a mile away from existing homeowners who were not expecting that to happen. And so I believe that we have resolved that situation. We will see. But again, I was talking about nuisance law in that community as well, and my duty as your Attorney General to enforce it. And then, of course, as you know, I did file a nuisance lawsuit against the Saudis in western Arizona for their excessive punishment. We're still in court on that one. I think we're gonna win that case because the Saudis have been allowed to pump so much water out of the ground there that they are dewatering the wells of their surrounding neighbors, including a Baptist church, a mobile home park, multiple ranchers, and they have caused the ground to literally sink underneath the town. And so that's just by way of example. Again, I'm not prejudging this situation, but I wanted you to understand one of the laws that I think that we have available to protect communities throughout Arizona under certain circumstances. And there may be others, there may be other ways to approach this situation, but I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I want to also say my office has received emails, texts, letters, and phone calls from many of you. Obviously, you're here for a reason. Concerned about the impacts of Aluminum Dynamics' proposed aluminum recycling facility on the health, property, and livelihoods of the people of Benson, including, and the environment, including the federally protected San Pedro National Riparian Area. And so I'm just here to hear from you. And that's where this all starts. I'm here to hear from you. So why don't we, without further ado, just get started. And I know we have a lot of people. We have a volunteer right here. We're gonna, Desiree's gonna bring you the microphone. And again, since there's so many people, we got two hands over here. But there's so many people. Please do keep your comments limited to 3 minutes if you can. And if someone has already said what you want to say, then maybe think about leaving it at that. But I'm here for you, so let's just get started.
Hi.